Hi, this is Kira Henry from Upstart Branding, and I'm excited to bring you our first partner series, Jazzing Up Your Instagram Photos. So basically what we're going to do is take some photos from Instagram and just spice them up a little bit and give you a tutorial on how to do them. So I'm excited, so without further ado, let's get started. So what you first want to do is open up your Photoshop program, and you want your artboard to be in pixels. So go to the preset details and make sure you save this as whatever you would like it to be called. So the edit today is going to be called Head in the Clouds. So I'm excited. Let's go ahead and name this. So you want your project to be in pixels. So if your artboard is not already in pixels, you can select it from the drop down menu below. And you want your width to be 1080 and your height to be 1350 and your orientation to be vertical. And 1080 by 1350 is the largest viewing size that you have on Instagram, and it's the most optimal for people to engage with your content. So let's go ahead and create the project. Okay, so first we're going to pick a photo off of Instagram. So this is CSO Suave. So we're going to be editing his photo today. I just thought the photo was really cool. It was a nice bedroom selfie. I love the grill. This photo, and then it fits perfectly. So it was already in that ratio size, but if you need to adjust the size to fit your artboard, you can always click the outside arrows, hold down the shift key, and resize it as needed. But you don't need to do that, so we're going to press Control Z and just go back to how we had it. So click accept at the top, and there you go. It's in your file. First, what we want to do is we're going to duplicate the photos. So just in case, things go a little bad, we have the backup, and we're going to lock down that layer and hide it. So you see this lock right here, and I want to rename this layer. So get in the habit of naming your layers so you don't get lost or confused. I'm going to title this background layer just so there's differentiation. Okay, awesome. So we are actually going to create another copy of this photo. So all you have to do is click the layer, drag it down to this plus sign at the bottom, and it will create another one. And we are going to name this one, we'll name this one foreground. Or you can name it A, B, whichever one works for you. All right, so my first step of what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the foreground layer, and we're actually going to remove this section of his face with the content aware fill tool. Go to this little band-aid looking icon here, and we're going to go all the way down to content aware move tool, and we're going to select the area that we want to copy, and then make sure the layer is selected, and yes, click OK to make it into a smart object, and we're just gonna fill it over his face and press accept when you're done. And so we're going to continue that all the way until the mouth up is going to be removed. And as you can see, I'm just working in small sections just to fill as close to the lighting of the background as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect. So what we're going to do is actually use the patch tool, and you're just going to highlight the section. Let's zoom in. So to zoom in, you hold down the Alt key, and then you just use the roller on your mouse to zoom in. So we're going to select our area, move it, and it should blend the shadows just a little bit better. And that should be good. Okay, so next we're going to hide this layer and then open up our foreground with the little eye. So first what we're going to do is use the quick selection tool. It's this little lasso thing looking here. And we are going to select just parts of his face. We're going to click select and then inverse. And there's also a shortcut if you use Shift Control I. Make sure you grab your paintbrush tool, and you can also select B to select the brush. So the black color hides and the white color reveals. So you see the black is hiding all of this of our photo, but if we use this little switch key, it will reveal it, this part of our photo. And we're going to have it on the white reveal and just fill in and create a nice line. And you can also change the hardness or softness of the brush. So if you want a more blurred effect around your edges, you see it's blurred if I adjust it up here. But if you want a sharper line, then you would put the hardness all the way to 100%. And you can lower the brush size as well to make just a cleaner edge. Okay, so now we're ready to import our clouds. So first what we're going to do is take our downloaded file. And the reason why I picked that particular cloud photo, where'd it go? Right here. Just because of the high contrast, so it's going to be easier to make cutouts of it. So what I'm going to do first is just transform the size because I want 3 distinct clouds, and you'll see why when we get into the animation part. I think right here is a good size. So first what we're going to do is take the quick selection tool again. And because it's such a high contrast photo, you're going to get a pretty good selection. So you're just going to click and drag. And then you're going to, any parts that you don't want, to use the negative tool. And we're just going to add back in some sections by clicking. And we're going to select and mask this image. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to hide this layer so it doesn't hide it, but select and mask, and you should be able to see, yes. So it just softens up the background of this, or the edges of this, just to make it more cloud-like. So those are our 3 clouds. First, transform these into smart objects. So you're going to left click on the layer, and then you're going to click convert to smart object. All right, so now that we have our clouds, and if you want to recolor them, you can click on it and then go to image and go to adjustments, the channel mixer. Yeah, let's I like these fluffy yellowish clouds. I dig it. Then you're going to press the Alt key and click and drag the filter to the other cloud images to make them all the same color. Next, you're going to left click again and convert them to a smart object so the filter attaches to the image. Now it's time for the fun part, the animation. So you're going to go up to your window and then click timeline. And at the bottom, you should see a panel that comes up. If it's not attached, you can either move it to the left side or to the bottom. I prefer the bottom just so I can see all of the layers I'm working with and adjust the timeline as needed. So we're going to expand our timeline to about 10 seconds and click the down arrow for the first image, and you're going to click the stopwatch to put your first keyframe. Then move the clicker all the way to the end of the timeline and click another keyframe. Then you're going to press Control T and rotate your image to where you want it to stop. And it's simple as that. And you're going to repeat that same thing for the rest of the 3 images. And to just add some more visual effects, I'm going to change the opacity of each layer for the clouds just to give it more of a translucent, billowy cloud feel. There are a lot of cool effects you can do within Photoshop for animation, and you can kind of just go wild with it. Now you're going to select all your layers. So first you're going to click on the top layer, click the shift key. Now you're going to click on the bottom layer. Now you're going to go to File, then go down to Export, and at the bottom is Render Video. So after you click Render Video, some options should pop up. And the settings that you have are good, and just make sure you put it in a folder that you can find it in after. You're gonna press render and then you are done. Congratulations on making a animation in Photoshop. I hope this was enjoyable for you and informative. Please double tap if you like this video and we can make more content like this. You can also save this video on Instagram or share it with a friend. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Stay tuned because we have another one coming out tomorrow on spicing up your Instagram photos. Thanks, y'all.